Hi there, welcome. I'm Bob Thompson, and I'd like to welcome you to the Philanthropic Planner program. We've been doing this for, 65 years or something like that, but I was a young guy then, but we've been doing this for about 11 years now, and people ask me, why do you put on a boring show about philanthropy, and what's this all about? Well, the idea is to have a forum to promote meaningful dialogue and discourse about the importance of philanthropy to the local community, to the state, region, country, world, globe. And we have guests on our program periodically, and last program I had the Chronicle of Philanthropy with a large pie on it, with a piece of pie out there. And part of the reason we produce this is we have hundreds of thousands of nonprofits, charities, 501c3 charities, and they're all looking for the same dollar. So that's a challenge for not the big university that has a $3 billion campaign, but the small charity that needs revenue just to stay open. They have a vision, they have a mission, and they need funding. So one of the chronicles before that was the cover said philanthropy for big cities. And Crazy Bob says, talk about small towns, not big cities. So I've written letters to the editors of the Chronicle saying, get with where the charities are. I usually go through the format of the Philanthropic Planner for you as a philanthropist or you as a planner helping clients in philanthropy, giving to charities, different types, different vehicles, different ways of giving to a charity or philanthropy. So much of our philanthropy is involved in volunteering, and that's an important part that we need to talk about. I recently retired. What can I do? My wife wants me out of the house. I can volunteer. That's a big part of philanthropy. You don't have to be a multimillionaire to be a philanthropist. You can be like the millionaire next door, maybe have a lot of money. But what we hear a lot is, Bob, I would like to do more if I could. I would like to do more if I knew how. And what we're hearing more every day is, Bob, I don't know who to give to. Can you give me suggestions? So I would do more if I could is capacity. Do I have the money to gift? Or do I need to be concerned about long-term care 5, 10, 20 years from now? Do I have the capacity? I would do more if I knew how is, how do I gift? When do I gift? Is it a donor advised fund? Is it a charitable gift annuity? So on and so on. I have to stop here because I'm going to run out of time later on, but we talk about 2 local charities every program. We'll pass that. I had 3 letters since the last program. Mark and Bill, I will get to your letters next program. But title of today's program, an opportunity to revisit a wonderful example of philanthropy. Alexis de Tocqueville had it right 200 years ago. 200 years ago, talking about the uniqueness of this country. Today's guests, I told you I'd get around to it. Today's guests, Sarah Leathers and Ellen Palmer of Healing Meals Community Project. And a little disclosure here, 3 years ago last month, this caught my eye of this project. And I don't know how I contacted you, Sarah, but I get a neat little email, and I'd like to share it real quick. Email from Sarah, and you have to understand, this was at the very beginning of this program. And she gives me what her thoughts, her visions, her dreams, and everything was going to be. She sends me an email saying, how do we prepare for this? And I have some questions that you might want to ask me, and so on. I said to Sarah at that time, and I said this time last week, we don't rehearse this. We don't use questions and answers. So let me get on to this. Thank you for coming back. A revisit. This is a great opportunity for you to share with us again But you blow me away. I keep saying that. I've mentioned you on several programs that we have tens of thousands of charities that are started every year. IRS says 501c3, we get applications and so on, foundations. Most of them fail. Most of them fail because of what I was saying about they don't get the revenue. Then when you get grants, when you get the government and you get foundations that dry up a little bit in bad times, and the sheer numbers of that piece of the pie, I will be quiet. You have a wonderful mission and vision. Tell us about where you were 3 years ago last month and where you are now.
Oh boy. Wow.
We have a lot to share.
We do have a lot to share. So 3 years ago last month was January of 2016, and we had just sent out our letters to 350 friends and family to say, we're going to start this. And
a couple months before that, in the fall, you went out to California with your sister.
We did, and we did a training. There were four of us, Ellen Deutsch and Emily Savino, and Ellen and I went out.
The 3 E's and Sarah.
Yes, yes. And it was really to learn about the program. And so in January, we had gotten some funding from individual donors who believed in what we were going to do, and we were looking for a kitchen. And so we hadn't even cooked a meal yet in January. We were just really excited about what the potential of what we believed was something really special.
So, and I have to say, last program, for a couple of the local charities, I mentioned beans and New England pasta and so on, and I hadn't been there. So I went there this week.
Good for you.
And I heard, wow, we had them in our kitchen.
Yes.
Meaning, I mentioned that you would be on the program.
Yes.
And is it Kim?
Kim.
Or Noelle?
Kim Morrison, who owns
Yeah.
New England Pasta Company.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had been having a very casual conversation with her, as I did many days. I went in for lunch, and she said, what are you up to these days? And I shared with her what we were starting, and she just looked at me very, very,
This is
very
back
casually.
then?
This
Back
is 3
then,
years ago. And
yes.
said, well, if you need any help with that, just let me know. And literally a week later, I went back because we thought we were going to be cooking out of someplace else, and said, would you really be interested in having a conversation about this? And she said, absolutely. She opened her doors to us for a year for free.
Yeah.
And that gave us the start that we needed to really get meals going and get volunteers in and really get off the ground. We're so grateful to Kim and Scott.
There's a lot to talk about, and I encourage people to look at your website, to look at your financial report, which your literature is fantastic. Tell me about meals, organic, healthy meals. Tell me who the meals are for.
Yeah. So we provide organic meals to families who are going through an acute health crisis. So someone in the family is very ill. We provide everybody in the family with meals for free for 14 weeks. Each week our meals, we do 5 meals a week, and those are delivered
For that family.
for that family. Those meals are delivered by one of our volunteer delivery angels. And when we come together every week, there's about 50 volunteers that come together each week to make these meals. So we're incredibly blessed by the volunteers, both adults and youth.
Tell me more about adults and youth, because part of your program is involving youth, and
Absolutely.
what I try a lot is we need to share with our children and grandchildren the rewards that you get back from doing
Absolutely.
something good. So this youth, tell me about the youth. How many involved youths of your 50?
On any given week, there's probably anywhere from 14, 16, depending.
And they devote a couple hours a week or something like that?
Yeah.
Typically
And then-
about 3 hours.
Yeah. And they make a commitment to do this hopefully for a year? Or
Hopefully we have some youth volunteers that have been with us since the beginning, so they've been with us
Seriously?
all 3 years.
seriously?
The objective is really to help youth and help adults actually understand that kids need a place to belong. They
Yep.
need a place to learn and grow about themselves in a safe environment. And what better way to do that than to help your neighbor in need? So yes, we are teaching them healthy cooking. We're teaching them all about where food comes from and why it matters for
So
our
they're
bodies.
actually working in the kitchen preparing these meals,
They are
helping
our
prepare
chefs.
the meals
Exactly, they are our chefs.
under the tutelage of
Our executive
professional,
chef
yeah.
and also our adult mentors. So we train our adult mentors to work alongside the youth and guide them, but really it's the youth really learn how to take responsibility in the kitchen
Yeah.
and feel a tremendous amount of pride for what they've been able to do start to finish.
they're giving back to the community.
They are.
You know, that's important.
And they're learning how to communicate with each other, which is nice. When you're working across a stainless steel table to create a meal, you have to communicate if you're all in it together. So they're learning that. They're putting their cell phones down when they come into the kitchen, so they're very present. And we always,
Now, do you have some of these students who have graduated from high school and college? Or are
Yes. We have a number of youth who are in college this year, and we miss them all. Many of them have earned or received their Blue Apron, which is 50 hours of service with us, and 2 actually have earned their chef coats who have graduated. But we have about 30 youth who have earned their Blue Aprons, and 5 that have earned their chef coats.
Think of how that spreads, you know, the wings of the butterfly and how that spreads. The colleges that they go to or the friends that they associate with
Absolutely.
and so on, what they're doing when they go home on vacation or something. And the kindred spirit, the bonding that they have with the days when they were there, you know. I don't worry about those kids getting in trouble.
No, and I think, you know, we often tell this story. When we were back at New England Pasta Company, we had a young woman who was coming Saturday nights. We cooked at New England Pasta Company Saturday nights, and then we came back Sunday mornings to package all our meals. And she was coming for both almost every week.
Wow.
And I asked her one day, you know, why do you come back every week? And she just said she loved it. And so I said, well, what is it that you love about it? And she said, I love the way my heart feels when I leave. And so we talk about that all the time, is that's what we want for everybody who leaves
Exactly.
our kitchen, is to feel that, and because we know if they feel that way, the next person they come in contact with, they're going to have a good relationship, and that person's going to feel better, and that ripple effect out into the community.
Now, word of mouth, 3 years ago last month, you had this idea, this vision, this dream or whatever, to kind of replicate what your sister,
Yes.
how many years was she doing that before? Is it Sarah?
Yes, so she started in 2007, March of 2007.
Okay.
She
Okay.
started.
So she had the experience out there in what I call crazy world of California. But are you now doing some of these things of growing your own food? I mean, you had some crazy ideas, and I'm saying,
and they've come true.
And they've come true.
And I'm saying, okay, not you, Ellen. Yes, you, Ellen. But I mean, you had the idea that you could do this, and when we start a nonprofit, a charity, I have this idea, I have this vision, but they're not entrepreneurs. Then the thing that drove me crazy, she tells me she's a mechanical engineer. And I'm, okay. This plot thickens a little bit. It's that commitment that I can dream together, and the team that you put together. Now you have an impressive board today.
We do.
And that has helped guide you because you have a diverse board that's so critical to nonprofits as they grow and they're successful. You got the volunteers. Tell me more about how many meals have you done?
You want to share?
Yes.
It's pretty
I'll
exciting.
add one more thing to that list, too. The other great thing that we have, and I think it's been a huge differentiator for us, is this amazing, good, positive energy in our kitchen. Among everyone who joins us as a volunteer, the founders, our board, everyone just has this giving spirit and this tremendous sense of wanting to grow a community. So I think that contributes significantly to the success that we've had.
Yeah.
And then I will share that we're thrilled to share that we've just served our 30,000th meal. So 3 years has been a very busy time, very
Amazing.
exciting time for us.
Amazing. How many meals last year? Out of the most recent year?
So our goal last year was 13,000, and we did 14,500 meals.
Wow.
So we've served 275 families so far.
How many towns? Now, I get blurbs back from friends, clients, former friends that give me a bad time about, I saw your program. That's a stupid thing. You're trying to be funny, and that's a stupid thing. But we're talking about some real stuff here, and I'm saying, okay, local community, but I get a note from Florida or Arizona or Ohio and some of the crazy people that they actually watch between sporting programs and commercials and this kind of thing. Local. How many towns?
We're over 45 towns now that we've served.
Of the 30,000 meals?
Yes.
And you have these, not travel angels, what do you call
Delivery
Our
angels.
delivery angels.
them? Delivery angels.
Yes,
And they volunteer and take these meals out.
they do.
Every week.
They do.
How do you get names of people that are in crisis? We talked about my wife 8 years ago. How do you get the family name? Word of mouth?
A lot of it is word of mouth. Sadly, there are so many folks that are going through something, and because we've been able to grow our local community through volunteerism and through donors and sponsors, the word's out on the street now, and so folks are starting to find us. And because of programs like this
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
little New York
Now, I
Times
know you've
article.
been
and-
interviewed on local TV,
Yes.
Channel 8 or whatever it was. And I know word of mouth is very important. And donors, individual donors, corporate money.
Starting to get some corporate
Grants,
money.
okay.
Yes, and some family
And again,
foundations.
that resonates. Here we are, we're doing good in the community, and the vibes come back, and corporations look at that, and I'm saying, I'm on 5 boards. 5 boards. 4 of them are charity nonprofit. And it is one of, how do we get our word out? I'm saying, you do good, and it comes back, and people recognize that. They recognize that, 30,000 meals blows me away, but the people that prepare it, where does the food come from?
Well, we luckily we have the Friends of Holcomb Farm.
Yes.
We are now supported by Holcomb Farm during the growing season. Last year we got 4,000 pounds of produce from them.
Wow.
And what a gift that is for us, because there's nothing better than they pick it on Tuesday, we're cooking it on Wednesday, and our clients are eating it on Thursday.
Wow.
And so you can't get any more nutrient dense than that.
This is healthy food. That is part of your mission, so to speak, as to organic, healthy food. We know that body and mind, if medicine is fine, and we do wonderful things with medicine, but what we eat and how that affects our brain,
We talk a lot about food as medicine and really bringing in the highest quality ingredients with the most live energy. So that's going into your body, so you're healing. And what's so nice about being able to serve the entire family is that everyone's eating the same thing and everyone's eating that high quality food. So they can communicate differently when they have that good live energy coming through them. And one of the things that's happened in the 3 years since we saw you last was we became members of the Food as Medicine Coalition and had the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. last year and speak to local senators about integrating food as medicine into our healthcare system.
See, that's the vibes that go out
Yeah.
and the importance there, because what you're doing here can be replicated in so
Absolutely.
many, like your sisters, Everett. I'm a little outspoken, you can imagine, but moved to New England about 180 years ago, and I'm still not a New Englander, they tell me, but I talk about philanthropy in New England and how people in Wisconsin do things charitably different than, I mean, their mindset is different. And I have difficulty in explaining that to donors that I would like to do more if I could. And it's close to the vest, it's Yankee. And I understand that, But it even makes your success even more phenomenal because you've got individual donors, you've got people that are volunteering, you've got the word out, so to speak, to do things and promote this health body. Now, broth is...
Our immune broth?
Yeah.
Yes. So every week our clients receive a quart of our immune broth.
Okay.
It's all organic vegetables with medicinal herbs that are added that are known for helping to keep the immune system strong and help the immune system. And many of our clients, they love it. They feel it. They feel the nourishment from it. I think the other thing in our kitchen we say all the time is how the culture of our kitchen, you know, the joy, the love, the fun that we have. Our clients they'll say, I felt the love in our food. And all that matters. You know, our youth write a personal note to our clients every week.
Cool.
And, you know, that's a win-win. Our youth...
The testimonials that you get back from...
Love letters, really.
And really just when you see this group of young people sitting down together to write a note and really think about that client and know that they're going to receive that note on the other end. Many of us don't write notes anymore, personal notes to people.
That's a whole nother subject.
It is. So it's helping our young people realize when they put that note
It's
in
more
that
personal.
envelope,
It is
how
more
does that
personal.
make them feel, right? And so all of those things matter to us.
Yeah.
We really, Ellen and I and the other members really hold the culture of who we are.
Your
really
original
close.
team is still together.
Yes. We're all very involved,
Which
and we
is-
have an amazing staff. We truly believe that every one of them has dropped from above, and they are a beautiful fit into what we're doing. And so, you know, we feel incredibly grateful every day to be doing this work.
What's the plan for the future? I don't want you back
Whoa.
3 years from now. I want you back sooner. But the next year, the next 2 years, what?
Wow.
Well, we'll start with what's happening within the next couple of weeks. And really, we're launching a whole community dinner series. So bringing the community into our kitchen
for-
and having everyone come around the table and learn about healthy food. We're going to be doing a nutritional nugget at each of our community dinners. And
You're having these periodically.
we're going to be doing 6 of them this year. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so our next one is May 3rd coming up.
Now, how are they invited? How do you get the word out there?
We have a very active social media following, which we're very grateful for. We have a newsletter that we send out. We have it on our website as well.
Yeah.
And through things like this, just people that will engage us and we share there. Also, we're going to be doing some cooking demonstrations. So one of our family foundations who is absolutely committed to helping people understand how they can replicate what we're doing in their own kitchen has donated some money for us to teach the community. So we're starting with our clients, bring our clients in who have had these great meals and are back up on their feet and can go out and shop for affordable, healthy food and bring it into their kitchen and create for their family. So we'll be doing 4 of those this year as well. We are just about to embark on a really exciting pilot study with Mental Health Connecticut, where we're going to be creating the framework for a future study that helps us identify the difference that healthy food made with love creates for folks that are in a mental health crisis. So folks that are suffering with depression and anxiety. So we're really, really excited about that.
Now, what's this thing with? I get communication from people in my life that bring me up to date and out of the dark ages. And so, have you ever heard about this? No, I don't get out too much. I'm a workaholic. But what is this Whole Foods deal?
Oh, wow. So
It's a fun one.
that's a really exciting opportunity for us. My sister out in California has been connected with Whole Foods for about 8 years, and they had started a prepared food program with the Whole Foods out there. And so what's happening is Whole Foods saw that. Their regional teams were talking to each other and learning that we were here on the East Coast, and they said it's a win-win.
Wow.
And so
They have 3 or 4 in the area.
So the 2 in West Hartford and the Whole Foods in Glastonbury, they now prepare 5 of our recipes, and they prepare and sell those. They prepare, they sell it, and we get $1 a pound for everything that's sold. So they have it in their deli area, and then they also have them prepared that you can pick up. And the hope is that what they found in California was the prepared food teams feel really good about knowing that they themselves are helping to support our organization. I went and spoke to one of the stores when they had their monthly team meeting, and I shared with them that, all of you now are part of the work that we're doing, and we're so grateful to have this partnership.
Too new to know what the success is here versus California?
It's too new.
Just started.
It's just started. It's been well received. And what we love is what we're finding is that people who know about it. I received an email just yesterday from one of our donors whose wife had hip surgery, and a friend stopped at Whole Foods, picked up our meals, and brought them to them.
Wow.
And so that's, people who maybe don't fit our criteria.
But it spreads to...
But it spreads. And I had another friend who did the same thing. She went and picked up 4 or 5 meals, and all with friends who are going through something. And she just thought, well, this is something she can do.
Now, I've extended this for another hour and a half. Karen has permitted me, but she's got signals up there. Again, this goes fast. I can't tell you, one, how impressed I am with your success.
Thank you.
That's one thing. Love to have you back if we can do some of this remote stuff or whatever. But I had a meeting with a nonprofit here this last month, and they don't get it when I talk about culture. That you have a board, and some board members they're there just to fill a seat. But when you have a culture that people identify with your mission and your vision and that kind of thing, and they get this thing back, okay? Right. That's why I said de Tocqueville had it right 200 years ago, that he saw that our people, free people, could identify a need and bring people together to satisfy that. It's an incredible story. You people are exceptional. You've got the entrepreneurial aspect of it. Still don't know how the mechanical engineer fits in. Ellen, you and I can talk about that someday. But your structure, your organization, the logistics, and putting all these different things together is fantastic. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have 3 seconds to say, come back again. Funding for Simsbury Community Television is provided in part by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.